Alright, now we're playing Mad Professor is black. We're white. Let's go with d4. Knight f6. Let's go knight f3. e6. c4. b6. Okay, so now we're in a what's called a Queen's Indian defense. Black has... The idea of this opening is that black controls the two light squares in the center of the board very well. With his pawn, with his knight, and with his bishop. So he gets good light square control, and he's probably going to play bishop to b4 and trade off this knight. However, white does get more space at the start here, so it is a trade-off. Black controls the center from afar, and I control the center with pawns here. Hey, Gadzinsko, thanks a lot for tuning in here. And Pilgornia, thanks a lot for the follow too. Really hope you're enjoying the stream. Alright, so after d6, now we have very good control of the center. Black's messed the opening up a little bit to give me this good of control. We're going to just play... bishop to d3. Knight c6, threatening knight to b4, potentially. I don't think that's anything to worry about at the moment, though, because if knight to b4, I have queen a4 check. So, I think we're just going to castle here. If he plays knight to b4, I'll check on a4. Queen a4 check. He has to move the knight right back to where it was. This actually ends up losing a piece for him, unfortunately, because d5 now attacks this pinned knight. Hey, Rhinos. I'm 1662 on chess.com for Blitz. Yeah, so I might end up playing you pretty soon if you want to play. You're only about 130 points above me, which is not too far. Alright, we're going to play e5, shut down this a bit, and play rook d1, threatening bishop takes h7 with a discovered attack on the queen. He plays bishop d6. We're going to play bishop to g5 now. Notice how now this bishop on c8 is pretty much completely dead. And now he's making a lot of weakening moves on his king side. So now bishop takes e5 is coming soon. d5, I think, was a good move earlier as well. I could have played d5 to kick the knight around when it was there. However, he doesn't have to move it to b4. He could have moved it to e7 or something different. Okay, so this bishop's pinned now. Now I think we can just pick up a pawn, at least. Alright, we're playing even better here, c7. Discovered attack on the rook, and the rook is trapped in the corner too. So we're just picking up the rook there. Up a full rook and piece. This is not so good for black here. Alright, so let's analyze this one. Where did black go wrong? So, black actually goes wrong in the opening here. You really can't afford to let white, in this opening for black, to let white get these three pawns in the center, which control all kinds of space. Better for black would have been bishop to b4, and then getting rid of this knight. That way, if I play e4 now, he can just grab it, because the knight is pinned to the king. So I could not play e4. I would have had to do something different. He could have traded, and then he could castle, and then I can't play e4. Yeah, all those tactics, time to design. Yep. So bishop to b4 would have been a better choice. Bishop e7 is kind of passive, though, and we just gain a lot of space in the center. Even here, though, it's not terrible position for him, but still not very good. Knight to b4, of course, is his main mistake. He should just get or he can't even really get castled because I play e5 with an attack on his king's side. So maybe he should play e5 himself. I play d5, and then he just retreats, comes here and gets castled. That would have probably been the best case scenario for him. But white's still much better here, in my opinion. A lot more space, better development, all those kind of things. Knight b4, though, just loses a piece. Once he's down the piece, there's not a whole lot to say. We're just working on kind of poking around in his position. This is a nice tactic here. We take the bishop, he takes back, and then c7 with the discovered attack on the rook. And the rook can't move because we just take him and we just take it and promote. So the rook's trapped. And after we pick up the rook, it's pretty much over from there. Not too much to say there. All right, so let's go for another one.